lied to me. Come on,
that
sing
was
it,
amazing.
Ooh, I had a really good point to make, but I lost it. So we just go ahead into the next episode.
Oh, come on. Ooh, yeah.
Speaking of music, this is a great intro to this
Return to the
week's
Map?
Black
Oh,
History
shut up, yes.
episode 3.
Oh, we're recording.
Music and Arts.
Yeah,
Yeah, girl.
facts.
Oh, nice.
I tried to tell you so.
Hey,
That
yes, I
I
did.
guess I didn't know. Hey, hey.
Yo,
Hey. Top of the world.
Yo, I love that song
you know what?
so much.
It reminds me of.
Oh
it's
my
almost a
God.
throwback, like it's a,
Yes, it's his voice.
It's
Yo,
such
it
an
reminds me
excellent
of
throwback.
Dylan, a friend of the podcast, who, you remember Dylan, comedian, who basically did this song at karaoke, and it will never be the same
You
for me.
lied to me.
I think it's one of those songs that comes on no matter
So
where
good.
you are. Like the same as like Before I Let Go. Like
Doom.
everybody
Before
feels
I
it.
let go.
Mm.
It's just that beat.
Doom, 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 doom,
Before I let go.
doom, 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 doom.
Everybody's doing like a little, like,
Right, the
small,
shoulder
like, electric
ditty.
stuff.
Because you gotta break out into the electric slap. It's
Oh,
unofficial, like
Or Chicago,
Yeah.
Chicago hustle.
Okay.
Like, do some
little
little
two-step.
little shuffle.
There we go.
Yo,
You can't see us, but that's what's happening. Oh, so we talking about,
woo.
this is episode 3.
Black History Month. We have some awesome guests with us today. We have Najee Omar.
That's
Hey,
right, that's right.
Najee.
What's up, New York, LA, Senegal, Sydney, Australia. Who am I forgetting? Alaska.
Yes.
Not Atlanta, Alaska. Okay, Canada. Paris, Paris, France.
I can't take you.
Brazil, everywhere, let's go. We live, international, right here, Black Meets World.
Mr. Worldwide.
It's the worldwide. Happy to be here with
Mr.
D
Video
and C.
5.
We're gonna let y'all intro our podcast every time.
I love it. Let's go.
and Utak West.
Bless
Shout
up.
out.
Bless up, everybody.
Hey, Utak, thank you for joining us.
And
Thank you for having me.
Mac,
What's up? What's up?
Look how your voice went down 2 weeks ago.
Sorry.
And
our executive producer. So this is a blessing that we have our executive producer, our creative consultant,
That's right.
And me.
Utak with the one-liners,
with
yo.
the one-liners.
You,
Facts.
yo, you bless us.
So we started this episode with
Facts.
music because this is going to be the music and arts episode for Black History Month, specific to all the things that we've seen in music and art in 2016 and obviously pertaining to the Grammys that we just watched. So,
This episode is basically airing 1 week after the Grammys.
Okay.
So everybody in the room watched them, right?
Some of
I
it.
did. Yep, I did.
I watched
the
what
whole
was
thing.
necessary.
Okay. You saw our little brother and our favorite friend,
Saw-
Chance the Rapper,
Solo bro.
Yep.
win Best New Artist and, what was it, Best Rap
Best-
Album or
yeah.
Best Rap Song?
I thought it was album.
Album. Best Rap Album, which is huge.
It is huge.
That's
Beyonce won Best
Kanye level.
Urban Contemporary Album and Best something else, but it wasn't Best Album of the Year.
She won Best Negro Album, basically.
Yes! Listen. Yo, first of all, she went on stage. She said, "Oh, you thought I wasn't going to give a speech about my black people?"
But did you see the gold plated thing she was reading from? Like Beyonce just
Yeah.
essentially is covered in gold. She's covered in like the Virgin Mary's outfit. Then she's got this gold
She has
booklet that she just pulls out and is like, she knew she was getting the award. She's already backstage.
But here's what I didn't like. Right. Okay.
This
So
is a
people-
Beyonce. This is a one of the official. This is a Beehive official you're hearing right now.
Wait, are you a fan?
Najee,
I am definitely
Not-
on the executive
not only
board.
let-
Oh, Najee, I didn't
I
know.
know that.
Not
Najee,
only
I didn't
is
know that.
Najee a fan,
Fan.
Najee has actually
I've been in her presence
No.
multiple times. Go ahead.
Najee has hugged and kissed Beyonce.
She
He
kissed
has.
me, but
Oh,
you know,
semantics.
Yeah.
we're not gonna go there.
Yes.
That's another episode.
I'm sorry,
Like,
no, I want
I
your
don't
girl
even
wants to
wanna-
know details. How sweet?
This is a couple of years back.
This is before
and
Jay-Z.
She had released her second album,
Oh, this
second
is
solo
forever
album, B-Day, and I was interning with a radio station at the time. Can I say the radio station?
Yeah, go for
Power
it.
105.
Shout outs.
And
iHeartRadio.
Flip the switch.
there we go.
We had Kiara.
And so Deja Vu, who is
Wow.
one of the radio hosts, she had her own kind of mentorship community service group that she was doing called the Flavor Unit. And so I would do community service with them week after week, and there was an exclusive opportunity where Beyonce was doing a listening party or something like that. And I was like, yo, I gotta be there. This is her. And this is before she was Beyonce, but she was still Beyonce.
Yeah.
And so
post Destiny's Child,
Destiny's Child, but not like the queen of all things of the universe, right?
Yes.
She was the queen of North America.
Yes.
And so I still was I gotta be there, right? And it was at Planet Hollywood or something, and pretty much I was there. New album came out, yada
Tell
yada
us
yada.
about the kiss.
I'm getting there.
He's getting there.
She
I like the slow hello.
She let
Ease me
people
up
out.
to it.
She only, because she is Beyonce, right? She only took pictures in groups of 6. And there was enough people there, but I mean that's still a lot. You were lucky to be a part of the group.
How many
Okay?
people were there?
It was enough. It was more than 6. All right, it was whatever the derivative of 6 is. Okay.
Good night.
And so I was in one of the
night.
groups. And I remember I was like, "This is my moment. I don't know what to say to her." And I had got to her, and I was just all I could say was, "You're beautiful." I don't know if I said you're beautiful. You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I don't know. And she said, "Oh my gosh, thank you." Kissed me on my left cheek. Right?
To be specific.
The left-
He has never washed his cheek
I ain't seen him
since
wash
2000.
You better ask somebody.
Since 2000. It's been 20 years.
So ever since then, I have been exalted to executive board status
Right.
of the Beehive, and I own it and I claim it.
Right.
I
Hey.
just said the left cheek
Hey,
to be specific.
that's one of the greatest stories I've ever heard.
That's incredible. I've been blessed to be in King Faye's presence multiple times as well. But I've not had the pleasure of taking a picture with only 6 people, nor has she kissed me on my left cheek.
What was your experience?
Oh, I've just seen her in concert a few times. So I saw
Oh,
her
I thought you
at,
were in a small room.
Oh, no. Not on his level. But I did go to the Roseland show, which was a pretty intimate setting. It was in New York right before the VMAs where she announced she was pregnant. And I was very close to her where I didn't have to zoom to film the entire thing. I didn't get to touch her or anything. The only person I really touched was J. Cole, and that was a life-changing moment. But anyway.
Oh my gosh. I feel
I
like we're
felt
almost
like-
talking about Jesus at this moment. The way you're talking about how I almost touched the cloth of her hem. The hem of her cloth, whatever.
I mean, she was just so... She radiates
Pure.
this pure energy. I don't know how to describe it, but being there, everybody... I know it sounds crazy, but it really feels like you're in a cult. When you're in her presence, you just don't have a choice.
Mac, have you ever been to a concert?
I've never been to a Beyonce
That makes
concert.
sense.
Okay, fair point, but she's a living, breathing human being.
If you've been to a concert and you've seen her up on that stage perform for 2+
I think
hours,
she is
nonstop,
one of the greatest performers of all time, one of the greatest artists of all time. She will define our generation.
Yeah.
She is still just a close to middle-aged woman
All right, so
who is very talented,
disrespectful,
but still,
She's
she's
not
just
older
a
than
regular
you,
person.
first of all.
So as you said that, I had the opportunity to meet her as well. This is circa 2012. I happen to be friends with her stylist.
I remember
her
this.
stylist assistant, and she had the release of her new fragrance. It was what's the fragrance called? Something bomb.
Darion.
Not Darion. This was post. I know, poor thing. This is post Darion, and this is when she had that fragrance. I know the fragrance. It has orange undertones because they had the full description. So Solo was just signed to Rock Nation, and she was a DJ. So she was performing and DJing, and this was at the Dream Hotel. First of all, this is when your girl used to be on a scene, and I was sneaking and geeking into every fucking event possible. So I happened to get into this event. And I was like, why is there so much security? Got in. When I tell you this is when she was pregnant with Blue. And this is to this day, Solange still recognizes me and she doesn't know where to put me. She's like, you look familiar, but I can't remember where. Because I was all up and through their family. This is me. This is Jay. This is Mama Tina. This is Solange. Everybody.
This is C.
This is C. And it was Julius as well. So I happened to give her it was like a church hug, gave her a little church hug, and we proceeded on forward. But I felt like I was blessed.
And life has never been the same.
Life has never been the same. But exactly. Once you see her in concert, I say this to everyone, once you see her in concert, it will change the way you feel about her.
Yeah.
Right. So the question really is, though, in the words of Adele, what the fuck does she have to do to win Album of the Year? And so if you watch the Grammys, I didn't actually I watched some of it, but the UVA game was on and they were playing tech, so I was half watching, half not. But I had turned on the Grammys because I knew Beyonce was coming on. Anyway, my point is, thinking about albums, I don't understand, and I know that you said not to worry about white validation, and I think that's an excellent point.
Oh, wait. What is the context? White validation.
Sorry, so Najee and I try and watch a lot of things together in what we call the living room, which is our shared space on Twitter where we like watch shows and then tweet each other in the same hashtags and all that stuff.
Y'all are all welcome to join the living room.
join
It's
the living room
usually,
if
usually
you-
on
if you
Thursday
would.
nights for TGIT or any black
Award show.
or big event.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we, Naj hit me, you in the living room. I was like, I'm getting there. And I didn't watch the whole event, but I did, we did talk about her not winning. And Naj just said, yo, don't worry about the Grammys and white validation. Like, we know what Beyonce's bringing to the table.
That's deep.
We don't need it. And I'm having trouble reconciling with that because I really don't understand what the problem is in general. I don't get it. Beyonce is the only person who's created an album with videos for every song. She's the only person who then produced a film to go with an entire album. Adele, while she's talented and she's progressing, 19, 21, and 25 are all the same type of body of work. Beyonce's literally
better, actually.
I love 19. That was my favorite.
25 is the worst one.
I'm not disagreeing with you. My point is that if you have Beyonce, if you have Adele, it's the same type of thing. Beyonce's literally giving you levels of albums that we've literally never seen. And C was saying on the train today, it's similar to what we saw with Michael Jackson when it was like Thriller. Nobody was doing that shit until he was doing it. And so that's the thing I don't understand about these types of award shows, because it just doesn't make any sense to me.
So your question is about what are the qualifications?
What is the criteria? I mean, what does she what
winning a Grammy,
I
right?
think that the goalposts always change. Like when it comes to black people and like art, like one of the biggest things that holds us back, the fact that we create all this stuff. Najee, stop touching me. I'm about to smack fire out you.
You're so irritating.
I'm about to smack fire out you.
You are.
So annoying.
But anyways, I feel like the goalposts are always gonna change. Like, you ever meet somebody like in a work setting or a personal setting that just really doesn't like you, and like you try to do something, and you try to do the right thing, and you think, oh, well, maybe they'll like me, but they don't. Like that's kind of what it's like for black artists in white spaces. Like the goalposts will always change, and so they say, okay, the goal is here. And then once you hit it there, the goal will move to the right, move to the left. And so there are no criteria. Like, there's nothing that Beyonce could do to win Album of the Year, whether she's deserving of it or not. If they decide to give it to her, that's on them. But there's nothing more that she could do, or there's nothing that she didn't do this time that says, okay, this is why. Whatever we do, have you ever looked at some of those old literacy tests, those Jim Crow literacy tests?
No.
Like the Black Codes?
Educate us.
You needed to take a literacy test to vote, right? They said, well, you have to be able to
Read and write.
Yeah, be competent. Like you had to. And so they would ask questions like, well, and this is only for black people, they would ask questions like, well, how many bubbles can this bar of soap make? And it's just
What?
like exactly. And so
Seriously?
no, seriously.
Wow.
And seriously. And so this was what was stopping us from voting. And so it's just like, yes, the rule is if you pass the test, then you will be able to vote. But there's no way that anybody could pass the test. And even if they did, they're going to say the answer is something else, right? Even if they had an idea of what the answer was, they're going to change it. And so that's what we're seeing with Beyonce and all these, all these black artists that are not winning the Album of the Year. They just don't want them to win the Album of the Year, and that's it.
And I think that it's important to just realize that this album, Lemonade, right, was black as fuck, right? And so it was a black declaration of like femininity. She talked about black love, right? She talked about the images, the visuals that accompanied the album were the blackest that we've ever seen Beyonce,
Yes.
right? And as she's maturing as a woman, as an artist, and even these references of African deities, like things that white people just couldn't even conceive if they tried to, right? And so this is something that is out of their realm, something that they cannot understand, something that is inaccessible and intangible to them. And so for us to really grapple with the fact that they couldn't conceive this as a beautiful profound piece of art that is unlike anything else any other white mediocre artist has put on the platform, right?
Mediocre.
They can't comprehend this. This is not a language that is digestible to them. And so I'm not expecting them to be able to put this on a platform. I don't need their validation. I don't want you to understand this. I don't want you to digest this. I'm not to say that we shouldn't be upset, but I want us to realize that they don't have the lens to even conceive and interpret this language. It's not for them.
Right.
And so when, as an artist, when you are creating something, cool, you're going to view it, you're going to see it, you're not going to get it, I get that. And I'm going to move on. It's for my people. And I want us to focus on, I want us to go back to those moments where, how did you feel when you were digesting this, when you were receiving this? Because I want to believe, right, and I could be wrong, but I want to believe that was her intentions. It was for a very specific niche audience. Yeah. And the Grammys and the Grammy voting committee, I don't think that they're representative of the people that it was created for in mind, and hence you see the results that it yields.
Right, and I feel like that's the key to this whole thing, is that who's voting and who was the music audience. Yeah, who's the intended audience. Adele was probably more of a general audience, right? It's just a white woman singing about love, right? Singing about love songs. Everybody can relate to that. Beyonce's was very niche. It was very targeted towards black people, but more importantly, black women. Right. And talking about issues that black women have dealt with that have never been spoken to on like a large scale like that. She's championing that and trailblazing that. And so she truly made an album kind of for us. So if we're not voting for it, I get why everybody's upset. I'm just not surprised. I'm not surprised she didn't win.
Not surprised is true. And I think one thing is that goes to your point about specifically for black women, because there's a visual, you can see the intent. It's not, sometimes you listen to an album and it's kind of up for interpretation about what they're really talking about. Not just, is she 5'2" or 5'2", but also just on a level of what is this album really speaking to? But Beyonce showed us what she was talking about. And she's on top of a police car that's literally sinking in water. So, or, the Sorry video where all the women are painted and they're just in there literally giving no fucks. That is something that I think added to what she was trying to say in the message that, to your point, Najee, they're not ready to understand. It's not for them and we don't expect them to understand it. But I also just think, maybe we just don't need that shit.
So there's a few things, right? I agree with the narrative that they may have not understood, but you still have majority culture who still stands for Beyonce, right? Who still, despite the fact that she targeted a very niche audience, it still appeals to the masses, regardless of the message, the musicality, the execution, the production value, the fact that she even created, I don't call it a country song. I call it, whatever. Okay, so we'll call it a country song. A country song on the same album, but she's able to cater to the multifacetedness of what it is to be black. We're not one-dimensional people. We have different aspects of ourselves. But also, the fact that she was able to do all those things and people, granted, who may not have been directly affected or can identify with those things, they still enjoyed it, right? But I think for the mother of that young gay white boy, or the mother of that young teenage girl who stands and loves Beyonce, they're looking at it like, well, didn't she have that police car going? And doesn't that mean she hates the police? They are the people who are still voting in these Grammy nominations, to be very clear, right? So even though the majority who are probably buying her records, listening to her records, and on her social media and are part of the Beehive to take down anybody, Rachel Ray, whatever the fuck her name is, and anybody else, Carrie Hilson, whoever else, taking down those people, those are the majority who are actually listening and championing Beyonce, right? But your older crowd who said, you know what, as much as my daughter and son, and these are, I'm trying to describe white people, love Beyonce, you know what, it was a little too black for me. And I didn't really, it reminds me of that SNL skit, white people were like, wait, I don't understand this. wait, I don't think this is for us. Everything usually is for us. You know, it's like that. It's that idea that they felt like, you know what? Although it was an amazing album and she defied anything that had ever been done in music and fucking released it only on one platform on HBO, and then it released directly to Apple, didn't go to Target, only went to Walmart. She's doing things that basically have never been done before because she has the reach, the power, and the reputation for it. People still were like, Adele can do it, because they identify with Adele, not because she is an amazing singer, not because she is over here breaking records as far as album sales, but why? Because she looks like me. Yeah. And even though she's not of the same culture and not from the same country as me, I'll still probably buy her record because that's something I'm familiar with. Even though she's copying everything that Black Americans have created for the last, I don't know how many years, in soul music and jazz and everything else, I'm still going to identify with her, despite the fact that anyone else who has a different complexion might be doing here in the States, but I'm going to buy her record because she looks like me. And I think that's why she won. I think that's why Adele won over Beyonce. And I agree with everything y'all saying, but I think because Adele is a familiar face and the people who are voting in the Grammys and have that power right now are still in that position to make that change, that's why we seeing some shit like this.
Well, I also think we won a lot of awards, but we win in our categories. Because we're competing.
That's what I was about to say. It's not different if we win it in black-ass categories.
What I was going to say is that we're competing against each other in the categories in which we win. So it's not like best rap album. Granted, Macklemore happened to steal this from Kendrick 2 years ago, but that's neither here nor there. I think we generally...
That shit's still wild.
It's still a pain point
Hashtag
for me.
white people.
White people, white people in. It is still...
WYPIPO.
White people!
It's still a pain point for me. But we win in the categories that we compete in. So Solange won an album or a Grammy. Actually, she won a couple. Chance won a couple.
Best new artist. That was dope.
Yeah, and so I think cool. We're winning in our own categories. Great, thank you. But they create these things for us to compete with the mainstream, and then we have they're setting us up to fail.
I think that's where we go wrong. Like, I think that I want us to get to a point where we're just seeing this just as another outlet, right? And it not as the outlet. The Grammys is celebrating I think it was like 59 years. So it's 59. Only like 59 years old, right? So 59 years ago, it wasn't the hottest night in music, right? Yeah. And so it doesn't invalidate the quality of artistry. We know that we laid the foundation for all of this. You know what I mean? And so I don't need you to come up and sit here on your boring night. Like the BET Awards last year was much better than the Grammy Awards. I'm not the only one, I don't think, that sits around the whole night and waits for the Black artists to come up, because I know they're gonna put on a better show, right? They're gonna take more time. And so these platforms, we don't get what we're worth, but it's just, I don't expect that from you. I don't expect you to get, because it's too painful for you to admit that not only am I better than you, but that I inspired you. And so you have to reject me in order to stand on whatever false pedestal you put yourself on. And I'm not gonna feed that.
Adele said it too.
Yeah.
You inspire me and my friends.
So if you watch her, she said my Black friends. First off,
she said friends and then my Black friends, and I gave the ultimate side eye.
I'm like, girl, I see
even
what you're trying to do, but
people were cool with saying it.
I respect the fuck out of it. Like, just because a white person says my Black friends, we get up in angst. Like, what the fuck, nigga? What you mean by that? Like, but I respect the fuck out of what Adele said. And she's real as hell in everything she said. She speaks for us, as we have just talked about. We've been talking about for the last 20 minutes.
So if you watched her backstage speech, she went on...
Backstage?
So there was
I didn't see that one.
That's because you didn't read my email. But there was a backstage speech that was like 12 minutes, and she was really funny because she was just like, I don't even do press conferences. So this is like the first and last time y'all will ever see me, but here's what I have to say. And so she did stand for Beyonce, and I agree with you, Mac. I think that it was completely relevant that she was like, you've inspired my Black friends to be empowered, and you've done this, and I remember this moment when you inspired me. And I think we're missing that. She's able to have the humility to say, not only are you better, but you have inspired me. And Adele is one of the few people really doing that in the music space, I think, because a lot of our music is being appropriated constantly. I think it's cool that someone like Adele can at least actively acknowledges. She broke her Grammy. I don't know if y'all saw it. She broke her Grammy and gave half of it to Beyonce. She's crazy.
Beyonce didn't accept that. Beyonce gave it to
He's like, babe, go play with this girl.
I feel like Beyonce at this point, what do y'all think is going to come next? I feel like a Solange type album will come out next.
So shout out to Solange.
So y'all not, she's like, I'm selling out fucking stadiums and y'all still not giving me awards? Might as well be who I truly am.
Who do you think she truly is?
Unapologetically blizzard.
Or how much do you think she really cares, though? How much do you think
I don't think she
really
cares
cares,
so
she is a world-renowned artist, one of the greatest of all time. Money is not an issue. She knows what the industry is. She's known forever. Her husband's Jay-Z. He knows forever. I'm above all this shit. What the fuck is an award to me? I'm going to keep making music. I'm going to keep speaking my piece. I'm going to keep doing my thing. I doubt Beyonce was fucking surprised that night.
So when you said that,
she wasn't surprised when she came out.
I don't think she's going to change her approach at all.
Acceptance speech written on the gold.
She came with no
piece of gold.
Yeah.
We knew she wasn't surprised.
So first of all, I would love to touch on her performance and the fact that she looked Mary, Mother of Jesus, with
she was amazing.
With Miss Tina on there and with Blue looking like
Wasn't that
a little baby Jesus on that damn stage, which can be considered as, a little bit controversial, but that's neither here nor there. In my opinion, like you said, Matt, she ain't got nothing to lose. Despite the fact that these accolades could mean like a little check off her list, she's still selling out concerts and she has international praise and respect, right? She's transcended what it is to be like a performer. People respect her on all kinds of levels. But I do feel that at this point in her career, especially when it comes to appeasing the masses, she's in a space where not only am I still being able to be successful in a space that I am my true self, you know what? If they really don't like me, it's cool. I'm going to make them even madder. I don't know. To me, when I looked at her face after like that, and granted, she might be, because she's pregnant, she might be a little bit more emotional and showing her cards a little bit more quickly. But she looked like she was shocked and a little disappointed, in my opinion. I don't know if that's what everybody else registered, but I was like, oh, y'all really didn't give that to me? And I gave y'all this performance? Watch if I'm here next year.
Oh, so I think the thing is that we'll never truly know. We'll never truly know, like, how much of it is planned, how much of it is orchestrated, right? Mm-hmm. What I do think we know is this, right? The degree to which she cares, maybe that's debatable, right? But I do think that we know that this is the direction that she's decided to go in, right? That she's evolving as a woman, right, as an artist, as a mother, and I think that she has decided to use her privilege and her platform to say, I want to speak into these things, into these issues, and I want to be a lot more clear and deliberate with the audience in which I'm speaking to.
Facts.
Right? And so I think that also, I think it is important to realize that she is a human being. So maybe it does affect her a certain type of way, but I think she does have to be able to fall back on and say, like, I can sell out stadiums like no other artist, right? I know I can sing circles around a lot of these girls out here, and I know that I really put on the best show. I'm unparalleled in many different areas, so I'm going to continue to do what I do because this is what I love.
And I think a lot of people are doing that. They're using their platform to do what they love and to express themselves. So the Tribe Called Quest performance with Busta and them, first of all, Busta got up there and we heard him call 45 Agent Orange. And then they just basically got on stage and yelled resist for, a smooth 5 minutes. Yeah. And I think people are just... almost we're at a place, at least for the artists, to your point, just sort of acceptance. All right, we know y'all not giving us these awards, but we'll still use this platform because you're going to pay us to be here. Like, we're still making all the waves in this industry, so we know that you expect us to show up, but now we're going to show up unapologetically as opposed to really trying to sit here and play the game to win this award type of thing. So I thought their performance was really cool. It was a nice little ode, and also... just like a shout out to blackness and unapologeticness, which I appreciated.
What does it mean to really be unapologetically black? Like what? And so we're black, right? And we walk around, and so it's just like, okay, well, what does it mean? It's just like... to
me, it's like you don't have to explain. Like, I don't have to explain to you why I am the way I am, or I think the way I think, or I'm doing what I'm doing.
You just do what you do, and that's it.
Well, we kind of touched on this last week's Black History episode in terms of the difference between a Blackish and an Atlanta, where Blackish explains things and Atlanta just is. I think that's the difference between existing in those words.
That's a great definition. It's just like, yo.
And I think it goes back to something that C said earlier with this idea of just the complexity of what blackness is and the range of what it is, right? And so to be unapologetically black means to be able to show those different layers, the multitude of what it is, without apologizing or feeling like you need a footnote for who you are and how you are.
Yeah. And also the understanding of who you are, and because it does take experience to be in a position to not code switch. So I say that in the sense of I'm in a function and you are talking about Neil Diamond and talking about growing up listening to whatever, and I bring in some black ass shit that you probably have no idea even exists in the world.
Boosie.
Right. And I talk about it in the same normalized fashion that you would talk about your white shit. And look around like, oh, you're not, and being in that context, but being in a space where where you're allowed to do it. And people already know your history and know what you can bring to the table to respect it.
I think the word allowed, though, is something that could be eliminated from the definition.
Not allowed, yes. That is a very...
Because that means that you're asking for permission.
Right.
And that's not what we're doing. I think it's being comfortable versus allowance. Like, you're comfortable with the stares that you're going to get after you hear that, or after you say that.
No, because I'm going to make a very different picture, because I feel like all of us can do it if we want to, if you don't know the environment you're in, right? If you don't know the audience that it's going to be receiving. We can all say whatever, but the audience who is taking it in might not be able to receive it in the same way if they don't understand who you are, right? I could be my black ass self on a train, and a white person might group me into being like the person they watched on television, right? But if you're in the context of being in a work environment, and I don't want to say loud could be substituted for another word, you know what I mean? But if you're in an environment where people already respect you and they know that what you bring to the table, they will look at you in a different light if you're always this consistent, unapologetic person who in light.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying at the end of you being apologetic for a consistent amount of time, people will then begin to understand your space and your energy. I'm just saying it as a general point. Once you consistently start living in your truth, so to speak,
like that, in such a way,
right?
Because I know that in my early career, I dimmed my light a little bit because I didn't feel like explaining myself. But when you get to a certain level in your career, in your life, in whatever journey you're in, you become less inclined to explain it and normalize your experience and being unapologetic for it, because your experience is unique to you versus majority of people who look like me and are from my culture have a completely different one. You know what I mean?
So I think the artists are exploring this a lot. Like Chance specifically is just living in that.
Chano.
And he's the same whether he's on Good Morning America, BET Awards, Grammys.
Praise the Lord wherever you go.
Thanking God for his baby moms and trying to do right by everybody and praising the Lord.
That's refreshing.
It is so.
I feel like
he's trying out your baby moms,
right?
In a positive light.
I want to make her my wife.
I like Chance, and I feel like white people like him too. Why is that?
Because he is unapologetic.
Because he's not saying nigga every other minute.
But he is. Have you watched his Instagram feed?
Does he
his
feel,
live video?
Does he feel...
That nigga's a nigga.
In the album, though.
Does he feel safer?
That's a great question.
I wouldn't say so. He's young. He's not a threat yet.
Or
he's not a mogul yet. He's not like somebody who... I think it's interesting, and I don't know how much this played a role, but him making his album...
Safer than who?
I was about to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good.
And in what context? That's a good point. But I was just
gonna say Anderson .Paak,
from another artist. Let me see some.
Like Shrimmer.
Is he more relatable?
Migos?
21 Savage.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Wait, hold on, because I want us to like. I've been called like a Chance bandwagoner, right? Because I haven't been around since like the first early mixtape.
It's okay.
I told him to listen to one of his first albums. He said,
Anyway, so like safer than who is on his pedigree of artistry, because he puts a lot of time into thought, not only into his lyricism but into the excellence and execution of his performances, right? And his video and all that other stuff. So
we're
like,
not talking about excellence though. We're talking about
we're
talking about why does he feel
he's digestible?
Why is he safer?
Yep. Or what? Why is he more light? What about his genuineness, though? I mean, are people just attracted to genuineness? Prime example, Wu-Tang Clan. White people love Wu-Tang Clan. I think the Wu-Tang Clan is the grimiest niggas they ever made. I personally think so, but white people love them because they are so genuine. That is who they are. Who they are through their music is who they are. They're not
dirty bastard.
It's not anything manufactured. And Chance comes off like that. Like what he says in his music is really who he is. You know what I'm saying?
All I was gonna say earlier is just that he released his album for free. Like he was just like, y'all can just listen to me if you want to, and I think that goes into it. I don't know how much that plays a role in white comfort, but I think the way that he has approached this whole idea of I'm just giving you a piece of myself without expecting you to do anything about it.
If Migos or Gucci laid their first streaming only album, you think white people gonna be over here mixtapes for free? Gucci, you think they gonna be out here being like, we champion Gucci name, East Atlanta Santa?
All right.
Yeah, but like also Chance has a positive message.
Yes.
Like he's genuine and he's a positive person.
Right.
Yeah.
Old Gucci, I'm talking about pre-jail Gucci. Was not like necessarily positive at all.
That's my point.
And Gucci probably was his genuine self, very much so.
That's my point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I personally love Chance. It's funny because I think that Chance inspired in me, and that's my own personal experience. Chance, it like lit in me this kind of, I'm happy. All his music makes me joyful. If I ever feel a weird kind of place, I'm like, yo, this young man is over here speaking about truth and also making me feel happy just to be praising the Lord, which this is a whole other topic, which I'm not going to get into because I've been scolded. I feel like I've met like a lot of godless people lately. And the fact that a young person in their early 20s is his regular self and I can relate to him and I can see me being related to somebody like him, but is still happy and joyful and wants to praise the Lord on this type of pedestal and still get praise, I think is just amazing. To me, that's what makes him stand out from the rest. He's different from anything else that's out there.
Chance definitely champions joy, and if you think about Black joy just as an act of radical resistance, right? And just this idea of living in this and breathing and embodying this and showing this through your work. Our pain is often like a commodity and our suffering, but when you are championing joy, that is something that in itself is something that I think we haven't really been afforded the space to explore mainstream. And so I want to give Chance like his kudos for that because that is truly revolutionary in its own self.
I agree. So speaking just in terms of albums, have y'all listened to any of the newer albums that have dropped in the past couple of months?
Utak is the
Musical
guru of culture.
King,
Give us that rundown.
Utak is the fourth member of the Migos, by the way.
Oh, really? You like Migos like that?
I'm so dead.
You like Migos like that, baby?
I'm like 50 years older than the Migos. Like, it's just,
the Migos.
yeah.
So
like,
Kalani, Migos, Big Sean, Sid the Kid, Lupe all dropped albums in the past 3-ish months.
I've listened to half.
You listen to?
I listen to Migos. I listen to Big Sean, Sid.
I listen to
Jadena.
Kalani.
Kalani, I'm still like on the fence because I don't think she's really black and she be saying nigga all the time. So it kind of put me off.
Have a weird.
She has an amazing
relationship
voice.
with her.
Yeah, because I also know her, so it's just like another kind of weird. I'm friends with her friend, and we've been in similar spaces.
And you don't
so
think she's black?
She's really sweet, and but she carries herself like a black person. So that's like newfound. Like I guess she's cool, but I'm still trying to get over my own
Is she
feelings.
black though?
I think she's like 1% that she can't find. I don't know.
Wow. 1%.
So that's how she feels.
Wow.
She's ethnic.
I listen to Big Sean. I like Big Sean. I think he's like an underrated.
I don't think he's underrated. I think Big Sean been producing
rated
hits.
where
I
he
think.
should be.
Yeah, I thought he was like.
Okay, go on.
Big Sean been out here though.
I think
If you're a
like
Big Sean fan, like you notice.
I think I like Big Sean's album, but I think he's rated exactly where he should be rated.
Yeah, I do. See, I'm actually not as much of a fan of him as everybody else is. That last album was great though, but before that, I think.
When you say the last album, you mean the most recent?
No, the
last
one
two.
before that, Dark, whatever. But this one, I haven't listened a lot to this one, but everybody tells me they love it. Though.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So Big Sean, I saw him live a couple years ago at Summer Jam, and it gave me a new appreciation for him. I mean, I listened to him, but more so I feel my appreciation for him has come from features. So then listening to his albums. Right.
Hey.
Right.
Oh God.
I feel like I got to appreciate him a little bit more as a solo artist, which is nice.
I love the internet. I love Sid the Kid.
Yeah, she's.
Her new album is fucking excellent.
Fire,
Really?
She has a beautiful voice.
It's just her though.
And yeah, she's not with the internet right now in this album. It's a solo album. But she is, so for those who aren't familiar, she's a lesbian and she's very open about her female interests, and she also like creates videos with her being the main character, her female interests in pursuit of that and stuff like that, and showing kind of intimacy.
The internet is the group that she's a part of.
Yeah.
And they have toured, and they've been at Afropunk. They've been at
all over.
So
yeah, pretty much everywhere.
Whole,
and so she kind of branched off. It's a similar like.
So they're part of the whole Tyler Creator and like the
that Odd
Frank
Future.
Ocean.
Well,
Odd Future, yeah.
Sid was definitely a part of Odd Future.
Yeah. So like that, they're from that whole very creative young black space, and Sid has a solo album. But I mean, it's excellent. If you just want, her voice is so beautiful and light and airy. I highly advise if you like anything in the realm of smooth music or just listen to something that you can have on while you're at work. It's excellent.
Or like if you're entertaining guests and you're lighting some Bath and Body Works candles in the house.
Please
you know what I mean? You have some gumbo on the pot that somebody's grandmother made, and you have the dim lighting. You want to have Sid in the background playing.
It's beautiful. Okay. Her music is like delectable. It's beautiful.
Am I lying?
Sick of you.
Okay, whatever. I'm telling the truth, right, Mac?
She does have a great voice.
There we go.
She's popping.
There we go.
So Migos, I mean, I didn't listen to the album, but Donald Glover got up and essentially said they are the dopest people out. So I thought that was a really cool shot. That was the Golden Globes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was interesting.
That was for Bad and Bougie, right?
Yeah, Bad and Bougie. Which the next day they hit platinum for that particular single.
Really?
But I thought it was funny because it's not like Childish Gambino, Donald Glover has his own album that he could have promoted in the same breath. But, you know, that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
Which I was told, or not told, but like records aren't doing that well for that album, even though it's amazing.
That album is great.
Yeah. But I feel like we're in
Which
that
album
niche.
is this?
His latest.
Awaken My Love.
Oh, okay.
That album is great. That's really good.
I think one of the most popular songs that we hear, I don't know why this song became relevant, but now I feel like I hear it constantly, is Black Beatles. Right,
Black Beatles.
Oh, that shit was like
it became popular
craziest
because of the
summer.
mannequin challenge?
Yes, because of the mannequin.
That shit was crazy over the summer.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
That girl is
All right, but what about Black Barbies?
Nikki? Oh.
Edit that out.
Every time I hear that come up on my little Pandora, I'm like, please get this off. Why?
That's terrible.
What? Wait,
that
it's
a
an actual
song or
song?
an album?
It's a song. It's a remix that she made.
Wait, Black Barbies is like a...
It's Nicki Minaj.
Oh, like, is she sampling Black Beatles?
Yes.
Oh, I have Black Beatles in the city,
Yes.
with the money.
Hey.
I have heard that.
Well, I love the song. I love Black
I mean,
Beatles.
Nikki always has bars. Like, I've heard it. I didn't know that was the name of it.
That's hilarious. I'm really glad you brought that up.
I don't really have any thoughts
just
on
for the
it.
reaction. I have no thoughts either. I'm still gonna...
Where is Nikki? I know she was on
She
tour.
broke up with Meek.
And she
I don't
broke up
know.
with Meek. You know, this is how I feel about Nikki. Nikki bothers me, and she's also talented because she has amazing bars.
Many people.
There's no one in her lane who is rapping who actually rap.
Remy, how?
I was just gonna say the only people
Other than like
Don't
people from the
other than people who are not incarcerated anymore.
But they broke though. Hey, what about young?
Nah, I like young M.A.
Yeah.
I like her little boy ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually listened to a few of her like three songs. I was like, oh
My
yeah,
body
she
shake
actually
them
can like
off.
rap.
Also, a New York-based rapper, Latasha Alcindor, LA.
Oh, I don't know
Facts.
who that fuck that is.
She's dope. I've seen her live at the Brooklyn Museum.
Facts.
First Saturday. She's phenomenal. I think that
What
there
was
are
this one again?
other artists. I feel like there's just not for women, especially
She was
women
at Brooklyn
rappers.
Museum last week.
Not last week, but this is like a while back.
Okay.
That's when I
What's
first got
her name?
introduced her. Latasha Alcindor.
Got it.
She just released a new project, but she's just dope altogether. I think that I want to hear more spaces for more women rappers to be out there. Nicki is cool to me. You could challenge me on this, but I feel like there's definitely other people who are dropping hot stuff, but they're just not given a platform.
So, do y'all remember Foxy Brown?
Of course we do.
All right, y'all remember Lil' Kim?
Oh, yeah.
Wildin'.
Okay, so
Lil' Kim with her
remember
original face or Lil' Kim now?
not the cheetah lady, like back in the day when she was
Oh, okay.
actually like a beautiful brown skinned woman.
You
So
can laugh. It's okay,
in
you
that
got it.
generation, right? That to me is the 90s. They were doing something different because everybody's wearing a lot of baggy clothes, but they were over here with legs spread, bikinis on and shit like that, right? Nicki Minaj literally did this exact same thing and became successful. So that is a formula that has worked in the past and it's still working today because sex sells. So I personally just have an issue with this commercialized idea of what a woman should look like because I see too many women with the same kind of fucking manufactured body. And I'll change, instead of saying competing, I would say creating an ideal image of what you should look like to a new generation of people.
So what about like what other albums have we listened to recently? Like, have y'all listened to Lupe Fiasco's recent album?
No.
Is Lupe still
20 seconds,
not...
and then I said next.
Oh.
Apparently.
Sorry, Lupe.
See, I like Lupe's last album. I thought it was.
What was the
really
most
good.
recent one?
The most recent one is called like Dragos.
No, Drogas or whatever.
Drogas.
But what I'm saying,
But before that was Testural and Youth. I thought that was a great album.
Really?
It didn't kind of like when the underground hip hop community really respected it, but it didn't get a lot of mainstream play at all.
I think the last real albums that I gave a full run through for Lupe are Food and Liquor albums.
Yeah, he did. He destroyed his career with Lasers.
And also him talking on Twitter.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Lasers. Food and Liquor 2 came out after that. I liked Lasers and I liked Food and Liquor 2.
Him talking on Twitter destroyed his career.
Yeah.
What did he say on Twitter?
Just being ridiculous. Like him running his mouth on Twitter, like made people look at him
And
and
calling Obama a terrorist. That's that hurt him too.
Okay.
At an inaugural event.
Interesting. Well, Jadana's dropping an album next week, I believe it is. And
he got more songs that's not classic, man.
Yes, he does.
Doesn't he have a full album before now or no?
No, I haven't seen it. I've only seen like a bunch of singles come out.
I don't actually know what Janetta does other than hang out with Janelle Monáe.
He dresses up.
He had a great album.
He was in Insecure.
It was a lot of Afro beats and a lot of stuff that went international.
I mean, if you look this clean, I'm a classic man.
Oh, that one too. Yeah.
Hey.
That's a more like domestic,
Even if she
popular song, but he had a lot of good hits.
I didn't listen to it. What's wrong with y'all? All right, so you mentioned La Cienega, somebody earlier. What's her name?
I said Latasha Alcindor.
Yeah. And so are there any other new and upcoming artists that y'all know about that y'all want to put us on? You are the king of this. I know you got people.
Najee's he don't really know.
Oh, okay. He's just be friendly.
All Najee does is ignore suggestions until he comes across it and then he pretends like he knew them for the first time. It's crazy.
This is also true. This is also very true.
It's crazy.
Okay. So let me look at you. Are there any new artists that y'all know about?
So I will say Quincy Vidal just released a new video. They're a duo that's based out of Brooklyn. They met. I believe they both went to SUNY Purchase. They're a rap duo that has this really like a classic hip hop feel, but they also both kind of sing. They're just really, really dope and put it on for the culture. So they just released a video earlier at the top of February. I definitely would recommend checking them out. They have a project that came out, I think, sometime in 2016, but they're still releasing content. And so I would definitely check out Quincy Vidal.
Dope.
They're super dope. Like lyricism, just the structure of their writing, their performance and energy, the sound quality.
If you
just
compare
the
them
tone.
to like another genre or artist.
Utak, what would you say? I'm not a hip hop head. I never claimed to be a hip hop head, but
No worries. No
if you could. Definitely the classic era of hip hop, though.
I'm sorry. What is that?
Guy, whatever. All right, whatever. All right.
Do y'all like Black?
Oh, I like him.
TL Left Eyes Group?
It's a new. It's
Oh,
like spelled
with
like
the V?
with
The V?
No,
B-V-A-C-K?
Instead of a B, it's a 6, right?
Yeah.
I just heard about this.
Yeah, he got this song with Problems. I think that's like one of his most popular ones right now.
I just discovered him like around the holidays.
Yeah, me too. But like, it was all over the radios in Atlanta. Like,
Oh, yeah?
he's
Oh, I didn't know this.
he's a native Atlanta artist, but he's making a lot of traction right now. But it's real like in between R&B and rap type of thing.
Like a Drake type of situation?
No.
You don't think so? I would say he's like born of that type of music.
It reminds me of like Tiller, a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I can see that. But yeah, Tiller's not quite like Drake. Yeah, it does remind me of Tiller, but it's because their voices are like similar too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about Daniel Caesar?
Daniel is the guy.
So I think that's who
just-
Cody was trying to put us on when we were in the car. Remember he played 1 or 2 songs when we were in the car to DC? My homegirl Alex just put me on, and apparently he's fire.
Yeah, I think some shit of his just came on my Spotify. I really like one of his songs.
Daniel is
man.
really dope. Great vocalist. His sound is awesome. Another person that that Utak and I have worked with, Gabriel Garzon Montano. Gabriel Garzon Montano.
Yo, your Spanish on point, boy.
My Spanish is lit. Listen, Gabriel is amazing. Drake sampled one of his songs from his EP not too long ago. That doesn't make him amazing. He's just amazing. You want to listen to his album. He just released and it's on all platforms recently. So you definitely want to listen to him.
Okay.
Also, I want to shout out Rippy Austin. RIPPYAUSTIN. He's a West Coast based artist, and every week for Black History Month, he's releasing a new visual along with his album, and he's got this dope soul.
Yeah, young people stop saying visuals.
Well, it is a visual. It is what it is.
It's a music video.
It's not just a music visual. It's taking it to another level.
Back in my day, it was just music videos.
Okay, well,
there was no visuals.
This ain't about your day.
Shout out to Rippy Austin.
Okay, so we haven't actually talked about any other types of art, but Naj, since you're a poet, I'm gonna give you this one. Is there any other artists who are not necessarily in the music space that you want to shout out to?
Yeah, Morgan Parker is a poet, just a brilliant artist among many things, but she just released this collection of poetry called There Are More Beautiful Things Than Beyonce, where she's not really taking a dig at Beyonce, but she's talking about this idea of what happens when you really turn inward and look and love yourself, right? And she's really influenced by so many different things, but her language is so raw and just real. The way she takes the everyday, what could be seen as the mundane, and just put it out there in this most beautiful but brutal way. She is just it. And so you have to pick up her collection. I haven't read it yet, but I've seen her and I'm familiar with her work. And I've seen pieces of this like a year in advance before the book came out. And I was like, yo, when 2017 hits, I gotta get her work.
Yeah.
So Morgan Parker, There Are More Beautiful Things Than Beyonce. Please pick that up. That's probably gonna be one of the best things that you read in 2017.
You trying to spit a poem or not?
Oh.
I am not trying to spit a poem, but maybe next time. Look out for National Poetry Month, which is in April. Maybe there'll be some new content released.
So, what about any of the Grammy performances? Y'all want to speak on that?
Katy Perry did well. I'm obviously a Beyonce stan, so
Right.
I enjoyed that one.
Beyonce, right?
When did you get membership to the Beehive?
Circa 2007. I'm not a big fan of The Weeknd. I like Daft Punk, but I like that song, and I realized I like it because Daft Punk created the whole beats to it. I'm not the biggest fan of The Weeknd. I enjoy hearing his music here and there, but I would not actively go out and listen to him as I'm working out.
Mac, did you see The Weeknd's performance?
No, I didn't.
I describe The Weeknd as like a seasoning that you leave in your cabinet for a long time, like crushed peppers or something like that. Mm-hmm. That just is supposed to be spicy after a while, but it's just dull. The Weeknd just doesn't do it for me ever, really. I could go without him.
I agree. I listen to The Weeknd if I need to fall asleep.
White people love him.
And
he date white. I mean, I feel like he's in the circles to get that influence. So I guess maybe that's why he's so successful.
He's Canadian, right?
He's Ethiopian originally, and yes,
really?
He is Canadian born.
He just bores me.
Cynthia Erivo and John Legend. So Cynthia Erivo, for those of you that may not know, she was the star of The Color Purple.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I love her. Yes, she's on Chewing Gum. And she's on the Broadway play.
Who's she on Chewing Gum?
She's a friend of, she's in the wedding and shit like that.
She can literally sing AOL's dial-up tune and
love
make it
her.
sound like the most beautiful thing that you have ever heard.
That's dope.
She was on Broadway. That's where her range. She's a theater person.
Yeah.
But besides that, I feel like she's that. First of all, Oprah shouted her out as one of the next big things happening. But she's a beautiful soul. I don't know if she's originally from Nigeria or where she's from. She was raised in London, in the UK, but originally her roots are from somewhere in West Africa. But when I tell you this girl can sing, and everything about her, I'm here for. Like the way she dresses, she has a beautiful spirit. Her body is on point. Like she's a workout fitness freak.
What's her name again?
Cynthia Erivo. So her and John Legend did the tribute for
towards the end of the
towards
Grammys.
the end for all of the the people that we've lost over the past year. And so as soon as I saw Cynthia, I was excited.
Yeah.
And then they got cut off abruptly to show this real. And like R.I.P. to everyone that's passed. Like they need their moment, but don't cut off Cynthia. Let her sing over the tribute or have two separate. Cynthia needs her own moment.
She's a gorgeous voice.
I remember her from Chewing Gum, and okay, I got it.
Can we talk about the Prince tribute?
Yeah,
you did. You did air quotes. I love Bruno. Bruno gave me. That's another.
They were speaking of
Bruno doing this. So speaking of performances, Bruno did excellent. He also had a 60-minute special right before the Grammys. But I'm really here for Bruno, and I love how he's developed as an artist, and the fact that he looks like he's having fun, but also delivering really, really, really well. But he dressed up as Prince. I'm talking about Purple Rain, purple suit, eyeliner, and guitar and all. I was here for it. But you said you put the air quotes, baby. So what that mean?
I put the air quotes. No disrespect to.
But disrespect.
No disrespect to Bruno. But just. I'm not about to wild out. I am going to say, though, just to be the quote-unquote biggest night of music, you don't give Prince two different acts. You know what I mean? You honor him with much more of... You give him the time that he deserves. And so I just feel like they did him a disservice. I feel like BET did it right. They said, we're going to make the whole show... a collection of tributes throughout the entire night because that is what Prince has contributed to this genre, this industry called music. So I thought it was cute. And I think Bruno did his thing. He did his thing. I'm not mad at him, but I'm just saying,
But what if you feel white people would have been like, so David Bowie though?
Oh, because Adele did one little thing?
No, she did another tribute. She didn't do Bowie. She did George Michael.
Oh, because Adele did. Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm here to. I'm talking about the Prince tribute. Okay, just like Earth, Wind, and Fire last year, they gave Pentatonics a little half a second to do some little medley for Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, for
Pentatonics, man.
I know, and it's just like, please.
I kind of got into Michael last
I did too, but I just feel like I hear what you're saying, but I also think the difference is Black entertainment television.
Okay.
Done right.
Grammys. That's the difference. And so we had no choice. BET, first of all, had no choice because the awards last year were garbage.
You mean the year before last? Okay.
You want your moment?
I was just saying.
Kendrick opened on top of the police cars in 2015.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Formation. That was Formation.
With the American flag in shreds.
I was actually there. It was great.
That was great.
Jackson came out.
BET is.
It was good. I don't remember anybody downing BET.
BET been holding it down.
Actually, I don't know what you're talking about.
They've been
I'm talking about
up.
the BET Awards in general, and I'm
BET
saying that
BET has never been like
got
shit. I've never seen like a bad BET Awards.
I feel like in 2010 niggas was like going at the awards.
What happened? Like
I can't remember.
That
There
was 7 years ago.
It
I
was
was like, what happened?
During, like,
There was
when
a tribute.
Twitter was popping.
There was a
time,
tribute
like,
that they just
2010,
didn't
like,
do
people
right.
Was it Michael Jackson?
What was this 7 years ago? When was this? Like I don't know.
Why are you
I feel like
I just don't remember.
I feel like they got
question.
better over time. Like this one, I was so happy about these Prince tributes just the last time, dog.
Especially after it was like, I don't know if it was the Billboard Music Awards or somebody did it terribly wrong.
Maybe that's what it was.
With Madonna?
Yes.
Maybe it was the Billboard Awards that got shaded so hard, and it was like, BT, you better not mess this up.
But
and they
BET
didn't.
immediately came back with a commercial that was like, we saw that, we got you.
Right.
So they knew that they had to come close.
I will agree with you, Mac, that they have continued to get better.
Yeah, I think so. 'Cause I distinctly remember niggas going at the BET Awards.
Yeah,
like,
and I can't
how
remember.
dare this be Black entertainment television? Y'all do these award shows like real janky.
Right.
I mean, so I would say overall, I would rate the awards, the performances from all of the non-blacks as mediocre and subpar.
Wow.
Minus Katy Perry. That was pretty good. And she had what's his face Marley, Bob Marley's grandson on there, who is like he's a big reggae artist. Not Damien. The
non-blacks in the weekend.
Skip Marley.
I mean, listen, but here's my
19.
thing. Here's my thing, and I'll always say this, right? When Katy Perry and the rest of them, Katy Perry was coming up with, you don't get to come on stage with cardboard cutouts of a fence and all this other stuff when Beyonce is coming with 2035 holograms of herself from the future.
And looking like Jesus' mother, Mary, mother of
when she took the time out to say, I'm going to video record this whole thing.
With my mother and
with
my
my
child.
mother and my daughter, who would rather be playing and doing something else, but she's going to be here to do this. I'm going to create a movie and a hologram. I'm still alive and I'm having a hologram of myself. Okay? And then here you come with the cardboard cutouts. It's just, Come on.
Any other music y'all want to feature now, and we're in 2017, that might be commendable that people might want to check out?
An artist from Chicago, Jamila Woods. She has a good album.
Yes. Did she come out with a new album? Or just in general?
So I came across it. A friend of mine is a friend of hers, and she has a dope album. She has a song with the Donnell Jones sample, and yo, I love my R&B sample. So
I'm here for any
Which
Donnell
Donnell Jones
sample.
Where I Want to Be?
Yes. Where I
You
want to
already
be.
knew that.
Yes.
Classic
Sweeter than it. Woo!
You're so
You know who did that recently? Mariah Carey's new song with YG has that like, just when you love someone, and it goes.
I
into,
feel like that's not good.
That's a classic. That's a classic.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know if Donnell's album just got released for like, if you want a sample, go there. Like, I don't know, like,
Probably.
but yeah, it's actually a really good song. I actually personally like the song, and I'm like, ugh, Mariah, but Mariah be hitting fire with her damn remixes. That shit's fire.
Yo,
She actually
Mariah
performed
has
on
some
Jimmy Kimmel last night.
remixes, though.
And I was like, she looked stiff as a motherfucking Statue of Liberty, and YG over here like, you know, young, vibrant, in an all-white suit, looking fly with his chest out.
His chest is.
And
Yeah.
Mariah had fishnets on.
No, Mariah had on a red sequin dress. No, it was black or red. It was one of them colors, and she did not move the entire performance except maybe 3 steps to the
Not
right
at all.
and maybe 1 to the left.
How old is she?
85.
Wow.
Yeah, she would be so mad to hear that. Like,
Mariah is a person who doesn't know how to accept age.
I totally forgot about this. You said Mariah. You were talking about Mariah, and it reminded me. So when I moved, I found on my CDs. I put in like a Now 15 CD the other day. Y'all remember that shit? Where we used
That
to
was
buy
mailed to your house
CDs.
on the CD.
And the songs on this CD were everything from Britney Spears' "Toxic" to Nick Cannon "Gigolo." Y'all remember that song? Oh.
Yes! Not trying to be your man.
Pit bones in my body, rock that body, how they rock them like body, that. Listen, trying to get in the club with a. Yo,
Hey.
I was like, oh my god, Nick Cannon tried it. I totally forgot.
He
that this
really
was
did.
a
He had
real
a song
thing.
named Gigolo.
Yes.
Was R. Kelly in it?
I'm all I get Gigolo. Oh, that's the same song?
Yeah.
Hey.
Y'all better act like you
Surrounded
know.
by so many.
Oh man, we didn't touch on R. Kelly.
We can't.
Bruh.
Didn't he?
Was he
just
at the
put out a new
Grammys?
album recently?
Oh,
I
last
can't
year he
support
did.
that man.
Outside. Oh, why?
Here we go.
Why?
Wait, pause.
Oh.
Sorry, Utak, you said you can't support R.
I cannot
Kelly.
support
Why?
R. Kelly.
Why?
Pissed on a 13-year-old?
Because thinking about it, as a kid, like I didn't really understand. I was like, yeah, well, I don't know what's happening. As a grown man, and I think
What
of this
part?
as another grown
Aaliyah
man
or
having sex with somebody who's 14. My brother is 15. I'm just like, yo, that's crazy. I can't support. Even though his music was fire, yo. I am
R.
a
Kelly
mountain.
has all the cookout music as well as like
Happy
graduation
people.
music. Yeah.
Yo, I listened to that. The World's Greatest. That
We
was
sang that at my 4th grade graduation.
my 6th grade graduation. That was the song.
Yeah, it was.
And back in 1st grade, when
And
we
I
had
Believe I
that
Can
fake
Fly.
graduation, I believe
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
both
fly.
of them.
Whoo!
Because you had to
Like
go
that-
down the aisle. Did you have to go down the aisle
Yes.
left
She's
foot?
going through
Yes.
because I said
Right
we
foot.
sang that in 4th grade.
Did you
She's
do that
going
too?
through a lot.
Not that song.
It was in New York.
we were in high school.
And so I'm like, yo, like I can't. So when
No,
I
I Believe I Can Fly was definitely elementary school because we sang that in
and like
talent show.
happy people,
elementary school.
Happy people, and that song, everybody wants to get their 2-step on when that
Every
comes
black
on.
cookout
Everybody-
you will hear.
Yeah, but still, if I hear him on, I'm next to him. Like,
He's
I
a
can't-
great artist. He's just a pedophile.
I mean,
It's awful.
we've talked about this many
We
a
deal with
time
that.
on the podcast. It's hard to make a distinction between your Chris Brown, the person, and Chris Brown, the artist. R. Kelly, the person, R. Kelly, the artist. I genuinely can separate Chris Brown and not R. Kelly.
Yes.
I don't associate it. I associate R. Kelly's transgressions with him no matter what. When I hear a Chris Brown song, like, it doesn't necessarily occur to me. And I know that he whooped Rihanna's ass. I know that. But it just, I don't make the association on a regular basis.
And so it's funny because when we think about how we, I don't know if vilify is the right word, but I'm gonna say it, how we vilified black women versus black men. And so we think about and this is not necessarily the same thing, but we think about a Chrisette Michele, for example. I think for most of us, there's no coming back from that. Chrisette Michele is done.
We had this conversation
she's delivered,
before,
right?
That's tough.
In case anybody doesn't know who that is.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say she performed at Trump.
In case somebody who doesn't know who Chrisette Michele is.
But she probably don't. Like, real talk. She performed at Donald Trump's, I guess, inauguration, and essentially every black person was like, nah, we actually not gonna do that shit.
And everybody's cool on Chrisette Michele.
Everybody's cool on Chrisette Michele, who's decided to make a decision just to perform at an inauguration versus someone who has physically done damage to a woman, right? Or in either way.
Girls, to kids.
Well, I was talking about Chris Brown. But either way, Chris Brown or R. Kelly, right?
Yeah.
And so there's ways in which we as a community, right, are conditioned to accepting black men and giving them passes in which we don't afford the same for the black women. And so I just wanted to look inward and say, like, what is that about? And where does that stem from? And like, how do we continue? We talked about this idea of accountability on a future episode coming up. Maybe not. But I want us to hold each other accountable and say, if we're gonna put our women up here, then we gotta do the same for the men.
I don't disagree with you at all.
Yeah, I think that and we had this conversation, when was it, last week?
Somewhere on the A train.
Somewhere on the A train, we had this conversation, we was just like, why is Chrisette Michele, why are we treating Chrisette Michele like this? And it's just like, we got plenty of guys in our community that's just not right. Like, let's clearly not right. And so, yeah, of course, part of it is because Chrisette Michele is a D-list celebrity, maybe E. And R. Kelly is like a B-list celebrity, right? but besides that, like B, like okay.
R. Kelly's not A-list?
No, he's not A-list.
Not now.
Okay,
not
here's
in
how you
2017.
No,
but
A-list
let's
is,
go back.
A-list,
He was on tour with Jay. Come on now.
No, that was before in 2000, whatever.
Yeah, I'm okay.
2000.
Right, but also A-list is when it crosses genres, it crosses demographics. Everybody knows you, no matter where you go, everybody knows
for
who
your
you are.
artistry.
Yeah, Beyonce is A-list.
Beyonce is A-list because even if people have never listened, to a Beyonce record or they don't listen to Beyonce, like they're still.
I was just gonna say, on what degree though? Because white people know R. Kelly, but probably because of this.
Lady Gaga had R. Kelly on.
Young white kids.
Lady Gaga
right now.
They don't.
Gaga reached out to R. Kelly and put him on her album. Let's run back R. Kelly right fast, because I think we're forgetting who R. Kelly is, who made all the jams for our entire 90s and early 2000s soundtrack.
But not us.
R. Kelly was.
There's a 15-year-old white kid from North Dakota know R. Kelly.
Nope.
No, not right now.
But we got to talk about the era today.
But if he is exposed to good music, listen, no, for real. If he's exposed to good music, 9 times out of 10, if it's a playlist anywhere from the 90s to the early 2000s, R. Kelly is at least on one of those playlists.
Maybe
so
that 15-year-old
Ronald Isaac
kid?
maybe too, but
he's A-list celebrity is transcendent, and R. Kelly.
An A-list celebrity is Michael Jackson.
All right. So
that 15-year-old.
You don't even have to listen to the music.
All right, A-list is a Michael Jackson.
It's like Michael Jackson, Barack Obama.
I'll give R. Kelly a
Beyonce.
I'll give R. Kelly an A-.
Rihanna.
I'll give him a solid B. I'm with you on that.
He's like a B celebrity right
plus
now.
It's okay. Listen,
Chrisette Michele. It's
a negative F.
She's like a D.
She's not on a Richter scale.
She's like a D.
Not if R. Kelly's B. Chrisette Michele is like.
She's like G.E.
I had
right?
trouble with that. I had trouble with that
because he's like, I listened to Chrisette Michele on the radio, and I was like, it doesn't matter.
But what I will say is, you're 100% correct about how we crucify our men and our women.
And so
we will give R. Kelly a pass every day, but Chrisette Michele will never prosper. Like somebody who's more relevant.
I think we're talking about way two different things.
And so okay.
We talking about
let's talk about somebody who's on the same scale. Okay. Who's a B list?
I was gonna give you a B list person. I know y'all gonna hate me for bringing her ass up, but Carrie Hilson.
Carrie Hilson is like she's like C.
Not B.
She's like C maybe. She's like C maybe D.
She's Chrisette level.
Who's B level?
She's Shane Beyonce. She's forever.
A B list female black artist today in 2017.
Monica.
It's even lower.
Can we say Brandy's B list?
Brandy.
We can say Brandy.
You can
say Brandy,
you
right?
putting Brandy below Monica?
No, above.
No.
Brandy. Monica's not B. If R. Kelly's B, Monica's not B. Monica ain't have it like that.
Yeah.
Brandy.
And we have to think. Okay.
Brandy is multifaceted.
Ourselves.
Yeah, we have to get outside of ourselves.
Brandy's a multi-talented.
right.
That shit's different. She was
On
in a
TV,
fucking Disney movie
yes.
with Whitney Houston.
And we're talking
people
about
know her.
recently in 2017 too. If we found out that Brandy was having sex with 14-year-old boys.
Impossible.
Well, I mean, she killed somebody on the highway. So, I mean, we don't have to really, like, reach that far to give
You said what?
a poor character.
But that was a mistake. That's a mistake. Like, the killing somebody.
I mean, it
on the
was an
highway
involuntary
a
homicide. True.
Who we talking about?
Brandy, when she killed that person, that was a mistake. Like R. Kelly, like anybody from Chicago will tell you that they've heard stories of him posted up outside of high schools and junior high schools trying to get girls.
Nah.
Yes.
This is
Ain't
facts.
no way.
Yes. Facts.
I refuse.
That's
Yes.
fact. That nigga has a sickness.
Seriously, but
I think the main point that we're trying to make is that it's hard to separate the artist from their actions outside of their music, and we judge men and women differently in this space, no matter how you look at it.
I'm still trying to hear an example where we can judge a woman in a different space. I don't disagree. I would like to hear like a really comparable offense where a woman is in that place.
Let me ask this question. One, I want to know why is it a different offense between Chrisette Michele and also R. Kelly? But also, okay, if you have Chrisette Michele who's decided to go and perform at the inaugural ball, and then you have a Steve Harvey and or a Kanye West who decided to go visit and speak with Trump, right? And so I don't see people pinning them. People are still going to watch Family Feud. They're going to watch all the they're going to listen to his radio show. They're going to watch all the 17 shows that he's on, Steve Harvey. I don't see people saying, Steve Harvey is done with canceling him. No, they're going to be like,
but the difference I'm
not that person though.
Steve Harvey's an A-list person, and Chrisette started at a D-list person.
I don't think it matters what grade.
I think it does. Steve Harvey's a fucking mogul. He owns mad stuff. Like,
he's like Elisa B. He's like a B.
I'm not saying he's untouchable, but not listening to his radio show ain't gonna hurt him. What you call it, Chrisette? Not getting us listening on SoundCloud is different.
I think it's about the popularity of the stance that people are taking. Go ahead.
The difference, in my opinion, is the intention. Like, you don't know what Steve Harvey and Donald Trump conversation was. Donald Trump said, hey, I want you guys to come speak to me about X, right? We don't know what Kanye West or Steve Harvey talked about. Chrisette Michele allowed herself to be paraded as my token black performer at my inauguration. It was clearly for money. She clearly didn't stand by anything. It was just a representation of Donald Trump saying, hey, look, I have black friends and I'm going to pay her $150,000 to do it.
I was with you until you said paraded, because Steve Harvey allowed himself to be paraded through that lobby as he left, and allowed those photos to be taken. And if you listen to the Steve Harvey show, which I do whenever I'm home with my parents, he actually loathes Donald Trump, and even had someone on his show come on and trying to explain to him how he feels about why you support Donald Trump. So I was very surprised to even see Steve in his office. So my assumption immediately was, oh, he's going there to try and better understand him. But when I actually saw him go out that lobby and allow himself to be photographed, that's when I was just like, you didn't have to do this. Now, granted, it was probably a stipulation that Trump wanted to have a photo, or he probably was trying to go through a secret sneak exit. I don't know what the story was, but Steve allowed himself to be on that damn platform, to be subjected to ridicule because he allowed himself to meet with Donald Trump and be photographed and on his public display of whatever. And also, Kanye is forever gone. Hashtag.
Okay,
no.
But
Kanye was gone a long time
Kanye
ago.
is gone for DNC, so but for the masses, like they did not crucify Kanye the way that they've crucified Chrisette. And let's just say Steve Harvey really did feel like he was gonna make this major legislative change. Kanye verbally said out his mouth, if I did vote, I would have voted for Donald Trump.
That's
so
true.
What is your excuse then?
I think we have to go back to making sure that they're on the same level, because it's not fair to compare apples to oranges. Like, you can't compare a B-list and an E-list celebrity. We can't
and that's what I was just gonna say. Steve could do that.
Yes, Steve is a B-list.
If Beyonce walked her ass in there and came out and took a picture with Donald Trump, we wouldn't say shit about it.
Yes,
if she would have said, I support Donald Trump, motherfuckers wouldn't have said a mother.
I mean, I would.
You might have said some shit to yourself.
That would be different.
I would vocalize it. Well, I'd be like, she hit a Kanye. She's forever lost. B, come back home. We need you.
And then she would have, and like, let's say she would have released Lemonade
Solo,
after that shit. That shit would have not dropped an album.
I genuinely think that the higher list celebrities have a different agenda than the lower list celebrities. Chrisette was trying to
have financial backing to do it.
Steve didn't need that money. So there had to be, in my mind, there had to be a reason.
I think he wanted the money. I think he wants the money.
For what? What money?
I think he wants the connections.
What money?
But we don't know what actually transpired.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's my point. It's like we don't know what transpired. So I think like we have to pay attention to what we know versus what we don't.
We don't know anything. Like the reality is we don't know anything.
We know that R. Kelly pissed on that girl.
Yes,
we know
yes,
that.
It's video. It's video.
There are things we know. There are things we don't know. There are tangible. We know Chris Brown whooped Rihanna's ass because her whole face looked different.
But
we gotta think about the things that we know.
But this is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. We know that Chrisette decided to sing. We know that he pissed on a girl. I don't understand. But we know that as a community, we have crucified one, and we still glorify, promote, uplift, sell out concerts for another. And yes, there are two different offenses that still have effects on cultures, right? And on massive groups of people and triggering in many different ways. And I just don't understand why we're not talking about like the root issue of we don't treat each other.
Let's just call a spade, man. It's about what you have given me lately.
Is it a deuce of diamonds or is it a deuce of what?
It is why rich men have more hall passes than their average nigga.
Exactly.
R. Kelly done gave us hits after hits after hits. It's hard for me to disown you. Chrisette Michelle, you had a little something I might remember.
Yep.
It's easy to discard you. That just is what it is.
And I don't know that that's, in this instance, particular to men and women, but I do think there is a conversation to be explored about that. I just think in this circumstance, nobody ever cared about Chrisette. No shade to
I think that society just gives women less leeway in general. Like, we talk about cheating, right? And we've had discussions about insecure and all that. It's a really visceral reaction that, men have to see Issa cheating. Because it's like, what the hell are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing that. Your women are not supposed to do that. You cannot be redeemed from that. But if it was the same situation and the man cheating, is just like, damn, man, you messed up. But,
we'd allow it.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be allowed.
Exactly.
And so, I don't disagree with you at all.
Like, women definitely get less leeway.
In almost all spaces.
But also, like Mac is saying, it also has to do with you get rope for how much you have given the community. And so, like, if Barack Obama, if it was some kind of scandal, people would just forget about it.
Michael Jackson.
Seriously.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Seriously.
And so, think about him touching them kids. We don't think about Thriller.
No, and so we don't know what's true and what's not, but we don't really want to know, and we don't really want to care, because it's just like, ultimately,
you gave us this. You are the most iconic person
Chrisette Michelle.
You can't get it. You can't get that back.
That's true. Only God level nigga that have ever fallen is Bill Cosby.
And he's not even really falling yet.
And everybody in the barbershop will defend Bill Cosby
till the day they die.
Because he's their father.
OJ too. All right, let's wrap here. Thank y'all for listening to Black History Month, episode 3, Music and Art. Hopefully y'all will check out some of the new artists and poets and authors that we've mentioned. We appreciate our guests for hanging in there with us.
I am a mountain.
You can find us on Instagram at black_meets_world. You can find us on Twitter at blackmeetsworld. You can also email us at blackmeetsworld@gmail.com or info@blackmeetsworld.com.
Thank you guys for listening. Utak, Najee, Mac, thank you for coming and joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Good times. All right.
Happy Black History Month, friends.
Make sure to listen. Yeah. Make sure to listen to our last episode coming out next week, episode 4 of our Black History Month series.
Word.
All right.
Facts.